I remember the year when I stepped onto the precipice of adulthood. My 17th summer had begun to dim when the change creeped up on me. The glistening pebbles of a youthful relationship with Nicholas started to lose its sheen as we embarked on different paths. He was the ineffable parameter of my high school life, an accomplice to my tender teenage rebellion in the alleys of Lyon that were veiled in a marriage of moonlight and shadows. But as the old saying goes, all good things come to an end, and so it was with us. The looming silhouette of universities in our backdrop drew us apart. Caught up in our own trajectories, university on the horizon, we amicably untethered our bonds, releasing each other into the wilderness of our own futures. Somehow I felt relieved, a weight lifting from my chest as I was free to wholly focus on the upcoming chapter in my life. My love for Nicholas didn't diminish, but my zest for life, for my dream was fiercer than ever and demanded my utter attention. My final year of high school in Lyon commenced amidst the gentle corsage of fall leaves, yet it wasn't the same. The winding hallways echoed of our laughter. The classrooms were haunted by phantoms of our shared glances, and the city of Lyon began to feel a little empty, a little bit like a chapter that had been read, dog-eared, and carefully stowed away. Yet amidst the crumbling essence of my old life, the seeds of my future were sown, taking root in the fertile grounds of my dreams. Coming face to face with the university applications, I felt like I was standing on the crossroads of my life. It was an all-consuming, daunting, yet exhilarating feeling. Would I be accepted? Could I really make it? The thoughts kept me sleepless on more nights than I'd like to admit. Looking back now, perched comfortably on my path, it's amusing to reflect on the blend of fear and thrill that clouded my dreams and my waking hours alike. As fall was settling in, casting a slight tint of melancholy to the departing summer, the city around me was taking on hues of change. My final year of high school unfurled with the rhythm of autumn leaves, casting mellow shadows on the walls. Each day carried with it a reminiscence of the love I had left behind with Nicholas, perfumed subtly with the sweet aftertaste of our shared moments, the threads of our laughter still loosely woven into the tapestry of my life. Throughout the hallways, the classrooms, and the quaint back alleys of our city, interlaced with the ghost of our past were memories of us laughing at shared secrets, our dreams intertwining as we imagined a future that was yet untold. With each passing day, it was as if a spectral Nicholas walked by my side, an arm around my shoulder, reminding me of the ephemeral nature of attachments. Yet there was also an undercurrent of tranquility, a silent calmness that seeped into the crevices of my being. Perhaps in realizing that life had more in store for me, the labyrinth of Lyon, which seemed like my entire world, started loosening its roots, whispering stories of a brighter future. To fill in my hours, I focused on my studies, my dreams anchoring me closer to the reality of my aspirations. I was no longer the girl enamored by the gilded edges of teenage love. Rather, I was someone standing on the brink of her unfolding destiny, her dreams asking more of her than she'd ever given. The innocuous artifice of high school marshaled its troops of teenage heartbreak and adolescent folly, seeping into the fabric of my being. And though the city where I'd spent the plushest of my youth seemed barren suddenly, I held on, embracing it as a lingering reminder of an era bygone, a memento of a chapter that was etching itself to a graceful conclusion. Amidst all the chaos and the cataclysm of emotions, one thing remained unchanged, that I had dreams larger than my heart could contain, dreams that were worth giving everything up, even a love that once tethered my heart. As the confetti of 2018 dissipated into the cold winter air, I found myself snuggled in a blanket, encased in a cocoon of family warmth. We were bidding adieu to the old year, a goodbye soaked in an amalgam of emotions. Around the room, the faint echo of laughter, muffled conversations sprinkled with a friendly banter, it was the perfect setting to reflect on the saga that was my life until then. The year that was torched with the agony of farewells, drenched in nature's autumn palette, was winding up to the rhythm of the clock's steady throb. As champagne flutes clinked, echoing the jubilant ushering of the new year, I was lost in the labyrinth of my thoughts. Each memory, a precious bauble in the mosaic of my existence, a story etched in the fabric of time. My eyes blurred as nostalgia flooded through me in undulating waves. The faint remnants of the carefree girl next door, the trodden paths to shared dreams with Nicholas, the intricate bonds frayed by time, all came rushing back. I dwelled on the bittersweet symphony that was the intertwining and unraveling of our lives. It was just not the city of Lyon, but also the chapters of my life, of our lives, penned in the now fading year, that nudged the progression of my narrative. Resurfacing, I caught sight of my parents, their eyes gleaming with pride and anticipation. Their smiles were gentle reassurances of a future bright, of dreams yet untethered, and a canvas ready to be painted with hues of my determination and hard work. I was not just saying farewell to the old year, but also was inching closer to a precipice in my own timeline. The anticipation of what lay across was both exhilarating and petrifying. Yet beyond the abyss of uncertainties, the shimmer of my aspirations outshone, casting a persistent glow over my fears, a beacon guiding me towards my upcoming chapter in Seoul. The dichotomy of lingering in the comforting embrace of familiar trails and stepping into an entirely new adventure was stark. Life was melodically weaving my narrative, one where each passing day echoed the fortitude of my decisions, radiating the undying spirit of a dreamer. Steeping into this unaltered tranquility that the dawn of a new year seems to bring, I allowed myself to be lost in the introspective cocoon of my dreams. As the midnight hour drew close, I stood holding the threads of my yesteryears and the promise of brighter tomorrows, ready to weave magic into the fabric of my destiny. Just as the summer makes way for the autumn, I bid adieu to my childhood room, a sanctuary that had seen and heard it all. It was the backdrop for countless conversations, tearful breakdowns, and most importantly, it was the birthplace of my dreams. The scent of lavender mixed with years of nostalgia perfumed the room as I took one last glance, weaving a small part of it with me to take along on my journey. Amid the blare of the honk and the clatter of suitcases, I could hear my heart thudding in an odd rhythmic pattern, echoing the dawning reality of my impending journey to Seoul. Home, the comfortable nook that had carried the echoes of my resilience, was now in the rearview mirror, etched into the puzzle of my past. I remembered how the sun flooded through the window, casting a warm glow across my room, and the way the floorboards creaked under my feet. As the silence of the night replaced the sounds of laughter and the dull blues, the vibrant hues, I saw my life reassemble in a country miles away. The essence of the room, a trove of memories I held dear, filled my thought as the night breeze carried away my whispered prayers for my new life. As I stepped onto the plane, traces of my room seemed to linger in my heart and mind, serenading me with whispered chants of years gone by. They snapped me back to reality, helping me channel the strength to single-mindedly focus on the journey. In the humming silence of the jet engine, I looked out of the window, staring at the colossal canvas that was my future. It was at that moment that I realized I had not left anything behind but was only adding another color to my spectrum, a new hue in the palette of my life. Leaving behind the comfort of familiarity, I was stepping onto unfamiliar soil. I could taste the tang of adventure in the air as the echoes of my former life resonated in my heart. Despite the daunting prospect that lay ahead, a spark of anticipation kindled within me. The unorchestrated chaos of a new chapter was pulsating with exciting prospects, and I was ready to dive into it. Stepping forward, I left behind the whispers of my past, looking toward the horizon that was painted with the colors of my dreams. With strength in my stride, I kicked off my second semester at Korea National University of Arts. Lugging a shroud of anticipation, a bucket full of perspective, and a heart aflame with passion, I stepped over the threshold of my burgeoning dance career, which lay beyond the university gates. For the semester-end dance project, I breathed life into every presentation, weaving into it the threads of my experience, bits of my soul, and verses of my story. Each resilient dance step was a declaration of my journey, an intricate portrayal of the battle I fought against odds, the miles I walked defying norms, and the sacrifices I made to mold my dreams into reality. The rhythm of the slapping feet against the polished hardwood mirrored the alternating pauses and crescendos of my life. Through innovative choreographies and expressive performances, I found myself evolving, thriving as an artist, every beat resonating with the harmony of my experiences, and every move enunciating a chapter of my story. Mornings morphed into evenings, and days weaved into nights, as I continued to intricately craft this composition of resilience, triumph, despair, and anticipation. The dance project, much like my journey till now, was a muddle of sweeping emotions. The euphoria of a well-executed lift, the frustration over mistaken steps, the exhilaration of flawlessly executing a difficult choreography, and the sheer nervousness that gripped me when the spotlight shone on us. The dance studio turned into a sanctuary where I surrendered myself to the rhythm, bearing my heart on the dance floor. Each sweep of my arms was a silent plea to the universe, each twirl a professed promise, and each leap a whispered dream to the stars. But amidst all of this, danced the spirit of camaraderie in its truest essence. We were no longer individuals, but a single entity flowing in synchrony, swerving around the corners of our shared dreams. There were nights we spent sprawled across the dance studio, bodies exhausted but spirits alive, echoing with the shared laughter which bounced off the studio walls. Among late-night rehearsals, spilled secret confessions, bursts of shared joy, and understanding smiles, we were no longer holding on to our dreams individually. With our dreams intertwined like the steps in our choreography, we danced together towards the future, ready to etch our names on the grand canvas of the universe. True to my nature, the dance project was an artistic marathon, not a sprint. Each rehearsal, each step, each misstep, meticulously crafted in the dance studio, was an artistic brushstroke on the canvas of my journey. Underneath the magical symphony of my dance ensemble, we blossomed into a family. Unmistakable, intimate, irreplaceable, we moved as one entity, painting the horizon with strokes of harmony. As the music flowed, filled every corner of the dance studio, we swayed to its rhythm, our heartbeats aligned with the tempo. The kaleidoscope of our emotions, trials, and triumphs was mirrored in our dance, each flow and drop of our bodies echoing the melodies of our journey. We danced through dawn, carving our stories into the wooden floor with our bare feet. Knitted together, not just by our shared passion, but by a joint promise to create art that crossed bounds, touched lives, and resonated with souls. Each practice, each late-night session ripened into nuggets of cherished memories. Our shared laughter spilled over the studio walls, binding us in a tapestry of camaraderie and resilience. Every now and then, the ebb and flow of conversation among us filled the silent studio nights, followed by gusts of laughter and whispers of dreams. This dance project brewed a cocktail of emotions, pieces of laughter, sips of dedication, and dollops of perseverance, making it merrier than the finest wine. As we pirouetted through the whirlwinds of our shared dreams, we wove an armor of resilience and persistence. I realized we were no longer just teammates dancing to the same rhythm. Instead, we were friends, sheltering each other's aspirations, bolstering each other's confidence, and imparting strength to navigate through our ongoing journey. The dance project was no more a project about turning and leaping. It was a chapter about flying together, plunging together, and blooming together. For me, it embodied the essence of dance, friendship, and ultimately life itself. This chapter could be defined by one word: transition. From the heart-wrenching goodbye to my familiar world in France, to carving a new home in the multi-hued mosaic of Seoul's landscapes. I met life head-on, stepping into the current of change that carried me, shaped me. The dance project was like a reflection of this change in my life, a melange of new friendships, shared dreams, and artistic growth. It was an adaptation to a dance practiced by life itself. Like my fingers skimming through the pages of an unfamiliar book, I dived headfirst into this new chapter with anticipation, curiosity, and a slight trace of trepidation. Life unraveled itself like a dance sequence, one step at a time, each maneuver leading on to the next, weaving the intricate patterns of my existence in Seoul. As the days turned into weeks, and then months, I found myself feeling increasingly at home in the companionship of my dance mates, the pulsating rhythm of the music, and the familiar embrace of the dance studio. I realized we were indeed akin to an artist's brush, creating a masterpiece with every stroke. Every practice, every performance was a rendezvous with our dreams. With time, we'd evolved from mere dance partners to trusted confidants, transformative mirrors reflecting the best in each other. Each laughter shared, each milestone achieved was a brushstroke adding further depths to the canvas of my life in Seoul. Despite the physical exhaustion and mental strain, this was the best kind of tiredness, the kind you got after putting your heart and soul into something you truly loved. I reveled in the adrenaline rush, the moments when music, motion, and emotion melded into one harmonious symphony, moments that amplified my passion, our shared passion, for dance. Each day beckoned with its share of surprises and lessons, presenting a world where possibilities danced in the realms of reality. And so, Chapter 2 was more than just about navigating shifts or embracing transformations. It was about growth, personal, professional, and artistic. It was a testament to my resilience, my desire to adapt, and my insatiable thirst for an eccentric life swaddled with music and dance. Indeed, if my life was an act, this chapter was me dancing my way through the changes, becoming a part of the grand performance that life really is.